welcome to the can opener,
Okay.
aka the van opener. The most optimum experience on the internet.
Optimum.
Now that we got video, shout out to Halom, shout out to 40 with the camera. I appreciate it. Look, this is how you make things work.
Yeah.
You come together with resources. That's what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True. And a couple of threats, but hey, yeah.
What do you mean a couple of threats? Yeah, and a couple of threats.
Yeah.
And a couple of motivational speeches.
Yeah.
So, what's up, bro?
I'm in the dark side right now.
I know, so tell me about it. The dark arts, bro. But it's not the dark arts.
I'm in the dark side of the force right now. It's exam time, so...
yeah, explain that. Explain exam feeling.
I'm feeling all my anger, all my passion, and all my just trying to be done. So it's just like I'm in a weird zone, you know.
How many more weeks? Just one more week. Right?
Yeah, 1 more week. I have 4 days, one assignment. So it's like I'm not really smiling until exams are done.
Do you feel like you have to work really hard to do well?
I feel like I have to work smart.
See, but there's some people who can go into school and be like, who can just do the work. You know what I mean? Who can just like read the book and be like, okay, I pretty much have all the answers and get like an 85. I'm not one of those people.
No, I'm a kind of guy. I need to study.
I need to study hard.
And I need to understand I can't just. I need to memorize the stuff. I need to understand the concept. That's the most important thing, because understanding the concept. I feel like if I understand the concept of a theory or anything like that, I
think me and you are both conceptual thinkers. You know what I mean? That's how we think about things. So I'm the same way. As like, I need to understand why something's happening.
Yeah.
In order for me to get the answer.
Because if I memorize it, like.
But like, I have shitty memory. I can't even memorize it. You know what I mean? I need to remember it from why it happens.
Yeah,
from having the concept of it. I can't even just like. I have such shitty memory. Maybe it's all the pot. Maybe it's all the. I don't know what, bro. I don't know what. But I have such shitty memory. But I feel like I'm a good conceptual thinker. So I understand, and when I understand something, and in order to understand something, I need to be like interested in it.
Yeah, exactly. I need to be interested in what I do.
What about like public school? Like, were you good at school?
At school?
Yeah.
The thing is, I was never bad at school. I just never put, like, for the first 2-3 years of my time in high school, it was just like, I didn't try. You know? Yeah. Because the things I didn't try because I wasn't interested in anything. When in grade 11 and 12, I finally found things that started interesting me, like taking business classes, accounting, law classes. I was like, oh, that's actually interesting. So
accounting interested you?
Yeah, because it was more like, I found it, like you talk about conceptual thinkers, understand the basics, understand why a balance sheet balances. You know what I mean? If I understand that concept, like, I will forever know how to do one. Like, it's not hard. Like, even one of our classes, we have one today, and I don't feel like I don't even need to study that because I just know how to do it. Yeah. Because I know why you need one. Yeah. Right? So it's just like always understanding the reason, the concept of things. You know what I mean? If I understand a concept, I will forever know it. Yeah. If I don't understand a concept, like, I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's the fundamentals.
Yeah. Because I see some of my friends, they just remember things so well. Like, oh, I remember this. Which is... I can remember things, but not as lengthy as that.
I can't remember shit, bro. Yeah, I used to be. I was really good back in public school. Thinking about back in public school, I was really good at school. Like, it came naturally. You know what I mean? I used to read books growing up, and like I could read when I was younger, and but then when probably grade 7 hit, I started just not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? I started just playing video games, did not take school seriously at all. And I don't know really why that was. And I have conversations with my mother about it. And I don't want to say that it like bored me, because I don't know if that was totally it. You know what I mean? I don't remember school that much. Like, thinking back on it, like, I don't remember much what I learned in grade 6, 7, 8,
I remember
9.
just being distracted by girls.
that too. That too.
And then like I was just
Growing up, starting to jerk off.
No, I
That's a crazy thing, bro. Once stuff starts coming out of your dick, dude.
Oh my god. No. Honestly, no. Dude,
That's crazy as fuck.
Me, like I was just like going to high school and seeing like girls way older than you, like wow.
Yeah.
And then
so you remember being so intimidated?
Yeah, it really intimidated. So then you're like, oh my god, I need to dress better. I need to do this. And then also. And also at the same time, it's just like when you're in that stage, you're almost interested in like everything. Like I was really interested in like music. I started finding interest in music, in arts, and dancing, and all these different things. I was really interested in a lot of things. You know what I mean? I didn't like your mind is just so like can't really focus. You're just interested in a lot of different things. You know. And I think girls like, oh, I like this girl, I like this girl. Oh no, this, this dance. Oh, this. So I just feel like those were times in my life where I wasn't like, I wasn't focused. You know what I mean? My mind was everywhere.
Remember how fun those feelings were, though. Remember like liking a girl, like being 16, and be like, bro, like look at her, like this is beautiful. Tucking your boner in your waistband, like under your belt. That's real shit.
I'm just imagining that. I'm like, oh my god.
Yo, that's real shit. We need to talk. We need to talk about it to make sure the kids feel like it's okay because it's natural, bro. You got testosterone running through your body. You see a beautiful woman at the age of 13. All systems are go. All systems are go. You can't concentrate in anything.
But I was one of those guys that was more like the nervous kind of guy. You know the nervous guy?
No, me too, bro. Me too.
But like you know, like guy, I feel like guys.
I was awkward when I was growing up.
Like awkward. Like you're like super awkward around those because you don't know what to say and you're like worried. You know what I mean? And you stress.
And you didn't feel worthy of such a beautiful young woman. I felt like I had self-confidence issues growing up.
I felt a little bit that, but I feel like I just don't want to screw up. I feel like.
But that's self-confidence issues, right? Because that's where it starts from.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was a big thing. Like I was like, don't screw up. It was always in my head. Don't screw up. I don't know why. It was always that. It was always there. It was just like trying to. I'm like, don't screw up. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what I was saying.
Yeah,
you know?
and then you just throw up words.
It's words, and then we're like, what?
And then you'd react. You'd look around. Your eyes would get all wide, and you'd react, and you'd run away. And then when you do that, people are like, "Wow, he doesn't like us," or "He's a weird motherfucker." I feel like I suffered from the same thing, but I feel like a lot of kids suffer from the same thing.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. And it was just like, at that time, it's like, you kind of have to just give your time and breathe and be like, it's okay if you mess up.
Yeah, but you don't feel that way when you're in high school, bro. You're like, there's no stopping for breathing.
Yeah.
Every morning you're like, bro, like this. Yeah, exactly.
100%, 100 miles, man. So that's why I feel like
how am I gonna smoke weed today? Where am I gonna go? What class am I gonna skip? Who am I gonna hang out with?
I skipped a lot with. Can you believe this? Think about this. In grade 7 and 8, I skipped a lot. Like not a lot. Like 4. No, like, 7
and 8, bro.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, bro.
And we were skipping. And
you were 11 and 12.
No, we were 13 and 14. And what we're doing while skipping?
Is it 13, 14?
Yeah, 13. No, 12, 13.
Yeah, it's 12, 13.
13 and 14.
13's 9th grade. 9th grade.
No.
13, 14's 9th
what
grade.
school did you go to?
No, 13, 14's 9th grade.
No, 9th grade is 14, 15, Evan.
No, because you graduate grade 12. And
then grade 10 is 15, 16. Grade 11 is 16, 17. Yeah. And grade 12 is 17, 18.
Yeah.
So I used to skip early just because I like the thrill of it because I see in the movies. But I would still stay at school. So skip.
What would you do?
Just be around.
That was a public school?
No, it was a Catholic school. It was so strict.
But what grades? What grades were they?
So basically, it's from grade 7 to 12.
True.
You know what I mean?
So it's a high school.
Yeah, it's a high school.
Okay, so our high school started in grade 9.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no way we would have been able to skip in public school. Like they would have called our parents as soon as we didn't show up to class. You know what I mean?
So in French, they were in French schools, at least in French Catholic schools, it was 7 and 12. They recently changed it now to the second year I was there. They changed it to 7. They changed the lunches because they kind of realized it wasn't a good idea having 7 and 12.
That's crazy. Imagine being a 7th grader, like a 12-year-old sitting like across the table from like an 18-year-old. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's in grade 12.
Yeah, that was a really, and also picking up on bad habits from the older people.
True.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Cigarettes.
Picking
up cigarette butts off the smokers section.
The thing is, no, you would see that. I remember my friends like, oh my god, they're smoking over there. Yeah. Like you'll see that over there. It was just like.
Did you ever think it was cool? Like to see someone smoke, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I didn't know if I had a. Obviously, I knew I took health class and I knew the non-health benefits of it.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
But at the same time, I was just like, oh, easy, they're doing it and they don't care.
Yeah.
So that's I always found that interesting. I was really like in grade 7 and 8. I was really trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Whatever it is to
As
try to be cool.
As we all were.
Trying to be cool. So you're really trying to find your niche to try to be that cool person, you know? I don't. It was so interesting, like just thinking about all the stuff I was trying to do to be cool. Like, it's funny.
Like what?
No, like I was just like I felt like, oh, I need to shoot my shot with the older girls.
True. So were you ballsy about it?
See, yeah, on social media.
See, you're talking about being okay. So that's interesting. But you're talking about being an awkward and weird kid growing up. I was too, but I would never talk to a girl who was clearly out of my league and older to me.
So the way I felt, the way I seen it is that because you're taking,
I would have scared the fucking bro. I would have never showed up to school again if I got rejected. I was so sensitive, bro.
Yeah, and there was actually a day that it blew in my face, but like I would no. Let me tell you, like I was because you're taking 7 and 12 lunches, right? So sometimes you can start. So I had these grade 9s at a time and just start talking on social media, on Facebook at that time. There was no like Instagram, it was just Facebook. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they didn't know which grade I was in, right? So I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm in grade 9. Nah. Because we have the same lunches. Yeah. So there's no possible way for them to know I'm not. Okay. And we have different classes, right? Okay. So they're like, okay. So for the most part, I would start talking to grade 9 people, so I felt a little cooler. And one time, I shot my shot with a girl that was in grade 9, but she was a popular one.
Didn't even have hair on your balls yet, eh?
Yo, I don't even remember.
Probably not. 12 is young, man. I remember, like, back then I was definitely counting a couple. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I got one. You know what I mean? Sometimes
I got one.
Up.
That's what you'll do on your off.
Yeah, no, you'd be like, I remember a specific memory of me walking home and looking at my pubes and like comparing it with the homies. Be like, yo, yeah, like, and Steven, our the only black kid in our public school back in the day, and his homie, he lived on the same street. He had just a full bush. He was like 12. And I was so
what you guys were doing?
Yeah, man, it's a small town. There's not a lot to have fun,
in
bro.
Well, yeah, in Muskoka, I could see that happening.
Yeah, there's not much.
Because I went to like a bigger. I went in Awas, the school was big, you know, a lot of people. Interesting. So.
What were you talking about?
Oh yeah, I'd be shooting my shots. So I shot this shot. My friend was going out with this girl, right?
Yeah.
I had the biggest crush ever on her.
What did Meek Mill say in the album? Never count a homie's pocket thinking you deserve it. Never crush on your homie's girl thinking you deserve her. For
no, it was like my older. He's
that's rule number 1.
He was in grade 9, right? Yeah. And he was like, and you have it. And I told her I had a crush on her. He was like, he's laughing. He's like, you know, and he's like, that's all good. Bro. And he was like, it's all good. You know what I mean? And then he'll be like, when he's with her, he'll be like, try to introduce me. He's like, hey, I'm not gonna say her last name, but Laura, this is for Fordiet. I'll be so happy, like yo. So, and then after they broke up, he didn't really like her. So I was like, okay, let me shoot my shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lined it out.
He didn't really care. You know what I mean?
Like I told him, fucking elk on the prairie.
So I started messaging her. Yeah. I started talking to her.
Yeah,
but I confused her just being nice to me to liking me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as we all have done before, embarrassingly.
Yeah, like she was shook because we knew it. Because I kind of seen her places. You know what I mean?
That's darkness. That's darkness. When you think a girl likes you, but she's being nice to you.
Yeah. So I confused that cold-heartedly, right?
Yeah.
And one day we were hanging out, and then she was just like, and after that she was just like, one of the dudes was on her phone at that time, and those were the time where the Facebook app just released.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the big first apps. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember. It was pretty bunks, but it was still an app.
Yeah.
We're just getting into the app game. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she pressed it, and one of the she was hanging out with all the older dudes, the people guys like grade 10, grade 9.
Okay.
It's like, yo, why are you talking? You talking to a grade 7? And after it's like, because a message popped out. It's like, oh my god, no. This. She's like, oh my god, no.
He's pretty much a pedophile.
He's just a grade 7 that's just trying to holler at me, but like, no. And she's saying in front of everybody.
You've been scarred ever since.
I've been dogged out, man.
Yeah.
I've been dogged. People like, he started laughing. And then I'm like, shoot. I didn't know that, right? So I'm walking down. I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? Like, yo, you trying to holler at you think it else? I was like, oh, fuck.
Yo, you see, I think back and I think that I should have had more embarrassing moments. I should have taken more risks like that. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me? You know how embarrassed I was?
Yo,
I didn't want
that's
to show
embarrassing as fuck.
I didn't want to, and everybody was talking about it. It was like Fordiet, and the girls in my grade, because some of the girls in my grade were friends with her. Like, were you sure you shot at her? I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I didn't show my face for like 2 days. Like, I would like sit, eat my lunch at like the random corners.
That's embarrassing. I remember sending like love letters to like girls back in like public school. This was like grade 5 and grade 4. You know when Valentine's Day would come around and you'd have like the little cards with the candy on it and you'd hand it out all in class. You guys did that, right?
Yeah. Secret admirer.
Well, you had a Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
And then you all made cards and candy for the kids in your class. You know what I mean? Little cards with pieces of candy.
Okay.
Did you guys do that or no?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we did that sometimes.
And I would always like go so hard for the chick that I liked during Valentine's Day. I'd write her like a note. And I remember like staying up all night, like these late nights. When I was like
late nights in grade 5.
No, yeah. When I was like 10, I'd be like looking up at the sun coming up, and
wow, me being up at 11 o'clock was already a milestone.
Sometimes, when I was growing up, I thought I had sleep issues. Sometimes I'd freak out at night, be like, I can't sleep. Like my mind would just be racing. I'd tell my mom, I'd be freaking out, but it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You look concerned there.
What?
You look concerned there. Okay. What were we just talking about?
Yeah, you were saying how you were writing love letters to girls.
Oh yeah. No, that was fun stuff back in the day, bro. Like they're never gonna be able to do that. They have phones now. There weren't phones back then. All we had were pieces of paper and pen. And did you guys ever play Spin the Bottle?
Yeah.
No.
You did? Yeah, I did back in. You never did?
No.
Yo, these kids are not gonna be able to enjoy Spin the Bottle, bro.
I had a chance to go to one of the girls' houses and try to play that game, but she lived in Canada, Stittsville.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, that was far. There wasn't that back in this in Ottawa. There wasn't that highway there built yet, open, right? So it was just like to get to Stittsville, you had to take like 100 buses, and I didn't know how to do that. I didn't have fare for that, and there was no Uber, so I couldn't go. I was so angry.
We had like fun little parties growing up in like little side houses and properties in the woods. We were like playing Spin the Bottle at this girl named Daniela's house. Shout out to her. You know, we were like grade 10. Not grade 10. We were like 10 years old. And it was so nerve-wracking kissing. No, I remember thinking back. So growing up, there was a time where I was just ruthless and I didn't give a shit. I was all in it. You know what I mean? I had no fear of anything. And then there was a certain age. I don't know when it hit. Maybe grade 10, maybe grade 11, maybe grade 9. There was like all of a sudden this like anxiety. and like social fear, you know what I mean? And it's natural. Everyone goes through it, but it's such a weird transition. But back then we'd play fucking spin the bottle, and I remember it being Halloween, and her fucking stepdad came out with like, we were in this like wooden cabin. It was pretty interesting in the fucking middle of the woods, and it's like down this person's driveway, and her stepdad came out with a fucking chainsaw and a hockey mask, bro.
Why?
Because it was Halloween, bro. He was playing a joke, dude. It was a fucking goof.
Yo, you see what you see? That's why I don't play that shit.
Yo,
You see, I don't like. You see, that's why I don't like Halloween.
all you heard is.
Evan, how is that supposed to be funny?
I don't know. It scared the fuck out of us.
Like,
Honestly, back then in my like 10-year-old mind, I was like, dude, we're 10. Like, you took it a little too far there.
what? Like, did she ever tell your mom that?
No.
She will flip.
No. You know, like, grow a pair of balls, bro.
If you're in the woods and one of the parents come out with a chainsaw, like, that's thinking a little too far, man. Like,
and then he chopped us all up, bro.
yeah, at this point, do you even know if it's real or fun? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying. I tell people, like, when people push those lines too hard on Halloween, how am I supposed to know if that's real or fake? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
You see somebody coming with a chainsaw.
No, I remember it being really fun. I remember it being really fucking fun, dude.
Okay, so yeah, and then imagine if it was a real thing. And you guys are laughing. Oh my gosh!
That's a totally
Oh my
different
god,
story.
Jeff! Stop. No, because he would come in the same way, and you
through the window.
and you guys are still laughing. Oh my god, stop! Ah! It always happens in the horror movies. You know what I mean? They always saying, "Oh Jeff, stop playing games, Jeff." Jeff, what are you doing? I'm like, duh, he has a knife and he's at a room and he's pointing at you and you think it's a game.
You think it's a
I'm
game?
pouring kicks, you know what I mean? Flying knees.
And the black guy dies first.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You would,
Because they know that he's the first one that's gonna get out of that place and be like, what? Yo, hey Jimmy, let's go back in the corner and see what's going on. I heard noises. Hell no, I'm taking the keys and I'm leaving. I'm like, peace out, guys. You guys can go see that corner by yourself.
yeah, I like scary stuff. I remember watching The Exorcist. You ever watch The Exorcist?
The exorcism, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. It was really messed up and it really
Is it? Do you think it's even more scarring with your religious views?
Wait, what do you mean?
You know, you got religious views, right? You have a religious life.
Mm-hmm.
You have.
I mean, I believe in Jesus Christ, which means I believe like I feel like a relationship with God, but
Okay, so yeah, let's put it that way then.
yeah.
So, but you also have like biblical reference to your life, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, the exorcism is really it's a conflict in itself, in the sense that I don't know. Go ahead. Yeah, it's really Hollywood.
So yeah, I know. But did it scare you even more because of that fact? Because my mom said growing up that it scared her so much because growing up, her family always scared like the devil into her growing up in like a Catholic household, and she's like, yo, I was petrified when I saw that because I believed in that. I believed that you could just get like taken over and just succubus. But was it scarier that way, or did you not give a fuck?
I mean, like, I'm not Catholic, so that's one. Number two, I don't know. I never thought about that. Like, that's a good question. I never thought. Like, I watched the movie as in, like, I watched a movie. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really I never really paid attention to that, like, crazy, you know?
Yeah, let's watch a scene from it, bro.
I hate scary movies, by the way. Almost look at me like Kindoki.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucking worthless cocksucker.
Be silent!
So funny. This is really old.
The newer ones are way scarier.
Yo, this is so disgusting, bro.
It looked like oatmeal, dog.
That was really disgusting. These old
Bro,
movies,
just watch it.
it's really disgusting.
Look at her.
I didn't watch this movie. I watched The Exorcism of this other girl, the more Yeah, bro, this is some shit. This is
But deliver us
this is a
from the
little
evil one.
too.
Okay, look at it. Stop talking, bro.
Save me, O God.
Yo, I don't like scary movies.
Yo, come on.
By thy
Just
might,
enjoy it.
my cause.
It looks like she's
against me.
exhaling like
violence seeks
packs and packs of cigarettes she's
But
smoked
God is
throughout her
my
life.
It's literally
Lord
Evan. It's
sustains my
disgusting. Did you see that yellow shit that she threw
Every
at his
need
Yo,
face?
relax,
He has
dude.
delivered me. Glory be to the
He's trying to get the devil out of her.
Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Save your servant.
Who places her trust in thee, my God,
Be unto her, O Lord, a fortified tower.
in the face of the enemy.
Let the enemy have no power over her.
And the son of iniquity be powerless to harm her.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell,
Lord, hear
Paris,
my
you
prayer.
faithless
My cry,
swine.
come unto me,
The Lord be with you.
and also with you.
It's so funny that the lips don't even
Holy
go
Lord,
with it.
Almighty Father, everlasting God, and Father of our Lord
You know what's
Jesus
fucked up?
Christ.
I was watching Joe Rogan, and they were talking about the girl who played this.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She must be.
That roaring lion. Hasten to
Great
our
actor.
call for
Look at
help,
how
and snatch
young
from
she is.
ruination, and from the clutches of the noonday devil, this human being made in your image and likeness. Strike terror, Lord, into the beast.
Do you
Now
think?
laying
Do you think
waste
it's ever
your-
happened?
Let your mighty
Do you
hand
think anyone's ever been like possessed by the devil?
That's an interesting question.
See, do you believe in like the paranormal shit? That's
No.
my
I
question.
do believe in the paranormal shit, but it's like I don't know. It's like I never like I never kind of I don't know like it's I never seen like you know what I mean. I never seen it. Or
Have you've never felt it?
No.
Me neither. I've never had an experience either.
So it's just like and it's one of those where I do believe that it exists, but it's one of those things I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to.
But it's just like, what exists? You know what I mean? I don't know if there can be a person floating, like after they die, and their spirit, quote unquote, is this like gassy looking outline of themselves.
I think that it was really Hollywood.
Of course,
Yeah.
her lips weren't even moving with the fucking movie. Like she was yelling, "Hope your mother sucks Satanist cock" or whatever she said.
But the just the thing is, there is like Satanist like cults. Like there is like Satan like groups like
The
religious
satanic,
groups.
satanic temple.
Yeah.
But they seem to be pretty cool people.
What?
No, straight up, man. No, they see it. No, straight up, bro.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
gonna
let's-
endorse
yeah,
that.
no,
I'm not
oh,
endorsing
see it,
that at
no.
all.
Satanic. It's not.
Yeah, I've seen that shit on Vice already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, no. Yeah, let's watch it.
The way samples fit into my workflow is like
Shut up, dude. How long is this video?
He said what? The way who?
Oh, that's not. It's pretty interesting. They just seem to stand for free speech and freedom of religion.
I mean, I think you should read on.
Look at that guy.
You should really read upon what they truly believe.
Why?
In the last days, there would be a war
Yo, they believe in
on
like
the
human
saints.
sacrificing and
Here's a
stuff
clear
like that.
example
So
of
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
But do they actually sacrifice humans?
yes?
they can't legally sacrifice humans right now because I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But a lot of things there's laws against that, so they can't do it. But I don't know. But like,
See, if they haven't sacrificed any humans, then
if they believe in it, if they believe that human sacrificing is alright,
is a right?
it's all right.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one, bro. That's a tough.
What do you mean it's a tough one?
Yo.
Yo,
Yo, I'm trying to play. Wait, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Here. So no, it should not be a right. We should not be able to sacrifice humans. You're right, but if they actually endorse that, but don't do it, then there's nothing wrong with it.
Do you even know the statue that they're praying? Who is that? That's the Behemoth. Do you
The
even know that?
Behemoth? No.
Yeah. If you know, it's ancient. It goes back to ancient Babylonian religions.
Okay.
And Babylon was big into sacrificing little kids.
See, I know
So
they,
that's why they have little
sacrifice
kids.
goats, though, too, right?
Yeah, goats and little kids. That's why he was around there.
Did you ever see that Alex Jones thing?
Mm-hmm.
The where he was in the temple or in the forest?
No.
Like what's it called?
Is he even allowed on YouTube?
No, not anymore, bro.
YouTube banned him
got
too?
cut off.
No, YouTube didn't take off Alex Jones. You kidding?
Yeah, no, he did. Alex, yeah.
Google it. Let me see.
Infowars is not up anymore.
Yeah, it is.
No, where? It's all NBC. There's no Infowars. They took it down. Alex Jones. Okay, so it was this thing called Bohemian Grove. And it was believed, Alex Jones went there, and it was believed that this is where the world elites get together and they do some weird religious sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about sacrificing children to the owl god. And let's go see if we can do some.
So, talk about the Bohemian Club. What is that for people out there who don't know about this, what some would say secret society?
Well, in 1878, a group of artists and newspaper reporters in San Francisco set up a retreat about 60 miles north of San Francisco, outside the tiny mining town of Monterey. But by the turn of the century, U.S. presidents were traveling there once a year to take part in the revelry. And it began to get more and more occultic by the 20s and 30s. And we know this from some of the internal annals of the Bohemian Club that we've gotten a hold of from some of the California universities that have been the official archivist of the Bohemian Grove. And so there was a lot of occultic rituals, Masonic rituals, and things that go on there. But none of it had ever been caught on video. And on July 15th...
Until Alex Jones.
2000.
Yeah, skip.
July 15th.
Okay, so let's... Oh, maybe it will just be...
July 15th is always when they kick off the Bohemian Grove. It had been rumored that they engaged in this strange ritual where they burnt...
Imagine if they took off... Okay, here it is. This is Alex Jones. But here he is and said, Bohemian Grove.
Here you can see the bottom of the stone owl with the altar and the eternal flame, a Aladdin lamp style urn that continually burns year-round, we're told. And here's a side shot from about 30 yards away of Moloch, the Canaanite deity to which children were sacrificed to in Babylon. And yet another slowed down close shot. Again, the eternal flame burning, the altar, the bottom extremities of the 40-plus foot stone deity. And there is a shot of its head as well.
Where?
Again, we've slowed down this video because we only actually had about 5 seconds of it on our hidden camera. We're looking at a little demon called PJ that was on the front of the actual program.
Okay, wait.
It's kind of an Hieronymus Bosch style.
So this is... They all get together in this country club or whatever, and it's a bunch of elite people, apparently. And he snuck in there one year. And they do this ritual. It just reminded me of it when you said Babylonian religions.
The figure of a human body burning in the flames. In fact, I've shown it to people that are experts in anatomy, to actual doctors, and they say that the anatomical size is that of a baby or small child. Notice how large the cranium is in comparison to the torso, that is the ribs.
That's exactly what you were talking about.
Oh, interesting. I mean...
Who hold in this gray autumn of the world her springtime in your heart, a 10-hour tale. Gather, ye forest folk, and cast your spell over these mortals. touch their world-blind eyes with very unusual.
It's so fucking weird what goes on in this world.
Jeez.
Who knows? It's just trippy, man. Who knows? And it's just religion is such an interesting thought, especially nowadays, and how it affects politics and how it affects foreign affairs and how it affects the future of where we're going. Because religion obviously plays a role.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, definitely.
So what replaces that role when religion's gone?
That's an interesting thing.
What do you think? Anything.
Hell, easy. That's it. But how would you get rid of it? Like, get rid of it 100%?
No, I just think that it's going to happen eventually. Do you think religion will be around for much longer?
I feel like religions are always going to be there. Always.
Why?
A lot of religions are trying to cultural roots to it. It's just like it's gonna always be there. Like if you look at some of these,
but why can someone like me who didn't grow up religious detach from those cultural roots if that's what determines it being there?
No, I'm not saying it's all cultural roots. I'm saying that you don't have to be born in a religious place. You don't have to be born in a religious in a household to not just because you're not born in it doesn't mean you people convert, people change every year, right? Yeah, because it's a freedom of choice. So people.
But my mom didn't convert. Neither did my dad, and I'm not converting yet.
Yeah, but you're saying but there's a multitude of people. Like we're living in a world where.
But religion's going down. Religion's not going up.
Where? In Canada?
In the world.
No, you can say in Canada.
Well, definitely. I don't know. Religion. What would I write? Statistics. Okay, so Christianity number 1. I guess we should have figured. 2.4 billion. So is there a comparison of where it was? Statistics. What would I put? Incline or decline?
Just put 2018 statistics.
2018 comparison. World's largest is still Christianity. Why faith is becoming more and more popular? Religion. Let's see. Maybe I was total bullshitting you, bro. Maybe I was just spewing bullshit out of my mouth. If you think religion belongs to the past and we live in a new age of reason, you need to check out the facts. 84% of the world's population identifies with a religious group. Members of this demographic are generally younger and produce more children than those who have no religious affiliation. So the world is getting more religious, not less, although there are significant geographical variations. Okay, so that's interesting. That makes sense.
No way.
Because people who live in a religious foundation, I'm not living in a religious foundation. If someone was living in a religious foundation, they would have a family set up already by the age of 22. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's a really, really big misconception.
Why?
You know what I mean? No, there are people that have families. I don't think so.
But there's millions of people who are Indian Sikh. And there's arranged marriages within that religion.
But that's culturally. Arranged marriages. Culturally.
But does that have to do with religion? I'm sure it does.
No, it's culturally, but then sometimes they mix it. So the thing is, it becomes when they start mixing it with your culture.
But what's the difference?
I don't know about Sikh
culture.
But to be fair, I think for my mistake, I might be wrong, but the Sikh and Hinduism religions are heavily cultured. I mean, like they're like supposed to, they're like one intertwined. You know, so that's
the thing. Like, where do we separate religion and culture then? Do those get separated when we talk about that? You know what I mean?
No, they don't. A lot of times don't get separate because we're human. Because some people want to use it for the different things, and some people want to do for things. That's why I like to say I have a relationship with God. You know what I mean? I don't see myself as a religious person. I see as a guy, a God-fearing man, a man that believes in God. I think those are two different things.
I agree.
Because I feel like religion is, it's really like I'm not bashing religion, but I'm just trying to say it's really a dicey situation because when especially government agencies and stuff like that like to mix their religion and into their culture because they can kind of like control people, right? In a sense, which I think that becomes dangerous, right?
Who thought of the idea of the separation of church and state?
Was
it Martin Luther?
Martin Luther. The thing is about the separation of church and state. Basically the concept of it was just trying to stop. What was just trying to say is that you shouldn't. It's just basically telling. It's not saying that if you are a politician and you have a faith, you shouldn't be a politician. No, what it's basically saying is that the same time that the church has its beliefs and everything that the state should not be going in there, and at the same time, the church should not become a political establishment. Because I don't think the church wasn't built on to become a political establishment.
Did you know that in the U.S. there's never been a U.S. president that wasn't Christian?
But then, yeah, I seen that. No, well, there was F. Kennedy was Catholic. Well, yeah, it's the same. It comes in the same umbrella. But that was even a big thing because he was Catholic, right? Which was
but Bernie Sanders was Jewish. He was the closest thing to getting there. But then that's also a thing like.
I think that's just a thing just to play with the masses for the votes.
Yeah.
Well,
let's be real. Donald Trump has never been to church once.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, let's be real. Like, you know,
slept in every single Sunday.
But then he will say, "Oh,
I missed it."
He will say, I'm Christian. I can relate to the most popular faith in America. So therefore, trust me.
The Bible Belt, bro. Like that's the South. That's the South. Christian carries the South. All races, all religion, but all races. You know what I mean? Like that's the South is heavy Christianity.
I think the South is heavy religiously.
Yeah.
Like and like I'll say like there's a clear difference between the God and the Jesus in the Bible that you read to the ones that you're portrayed in the South. You know what I mean? So what I'm just trying to say is that the South of America is a good example of how you mix your culture and your religion. They mixed Christianity with American values. So like you have pictures of Jesus with guns and like you know what I mean? No, it's true. Like you know what I mean? And you know like there's pastors are saying, hey, like it's like we believe in like you know what I mean? They have pictures like that, right? And like you know like for example like Jesus doesn't look like this is a Eurocentric way of portraying Jesus, right? So these are kind of things.
He's a good looking dude, man.
So
he got bitches back. Look at his jawline, dude.
No, but the thing is, this is not like what I'm trying to say is like this is not an accurate picture of how he looked like.
Oh, really?
Right?
That's not accurate? I thought that was like a real time painting. They're like, yo, Jesus, can we just get you sitting on this log here for a second?
I'm just trying to.
We got a Remington.
Like I'm trying to say, like they use a lot of culture. Like even going back to the Roman Empire, they use a lot of their previous culture within that. What's the score?
8-3, 4.
it's close, huh? Lakers are winning?
Yeah.
Who's playing lit?
Wanzhou's playing good, bro.
All right, what were we talking about?
LeBronzo.
Wanzhou. What were we talking about?
No, I'm just trying to say that these pictures are a good example of
ridiculousness.
Well, ridiculousness and how people use their use culture to mix them with their faith. Like in a sense, like if you like, I don't even agree on these pictures of God and people are painting those pictures like that because first of all, you're painting these pictures don't look like God. They look like Zeus. They're literally painting Zeus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I'm just trying to say is like, if you want to look at a definition of how if we're made in the reflection of God, go look at everybody around us. You know what I mean? We're all a reflection of Him. So I understand why people need to paint these pictures, you know, and try to reflect. Like
it makes me think of like business. It makes me think that religion is a business, and Jesus is their brand icon, and Jesus is their Ronald McDonald. You know what I mean? And this is how they're branding. And this is the NRA taking the Jesus brand, or whoever passed the ammo.com, whoever's trying to make guns normalized with Jesus. They're using that brand power to sway an opinion.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think I when I see these kind of pictures, and that's why I'm
it makes me proud of America.
That's why you
makes me proud of me, America.
Yeah, so you gotta really. That's what I'm saying. Like having a relationship with God and having a understanding of what Christianism is, you will understand these kind of pictures is not. You know what I mean? You understand the difference. You know what I mean? But sadly, a lot of people don't. They believe in something they don't read. Like a lot of people believe,
hey, that's me.
You know, and so they
be incriminating myself.
They fall into things like these. You know what I mean? Like that picture. Like, what does a gun have to do with the Bible? And just the fact that it's
nothing. They're not even relevant. I like that cross though. That's kind of cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, and it's just interesting where our world will go. Yo, fucking these Chinese internment camps. Did you hear about this?
Oh, what's that?
Okay, so Halom put me on the other day, and there's apparently school to shut as pressure on. So there's an Arabic school. Chinese Arabic school to close as areas with Muslim populations are urged to study the Xinjiang way. Okay, so Ningxia is political chief says Xinjiang's religious and terrorist curbs are good model. I was reading this earlier. Let's see if we can get something from the video. Jinsu Arabic school ordered to shut down. Authorities ordered the shutdown of the Arabic language school by December 17th, located in Gansu province in northwest China. Pinglang Arabic school caters to underprivileged students. Officials claim that the school does not have operational permits, although it has been in business since 1984. Maybe this is not the right thing.
Wait, what do you mean? What was the video?
Chinese Muslim camps. That's what I. China's hidden camps. China's hidden. This is a really interesting thing. That's what I. Is it recording?
Mm-hmm.
Recording? This is a super interesting article. Okay, so China's hidden camps. What's happened to the vanished Uyghurs of Xinjiang? And I have no idea what the fuck this is, dude. But I'm really curious about this stuff, bro. I'm really curious about the China story. is home to so southern Xinjiang
people, yeah.
is home at the
Uyghur people, yeah.
Uyghur people, about 9 million, the majority of Han, 90% of the population. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Okay, so what are the Uyghurs?
So they're basically an ethnic group in China. They're basically beside like Pakistan or place like that. They're ethnically different than the
like
Chinese people.
More
group.
Middle Eastern than Asian looking.
They're a mixed. They're a mix of Asian and Middle Eastern. You know, and they are, and they're majority in the Muslim population. And for years they've been the government hasn't really sent money into those provinces, right? So and the provinces has really been really poor, right?
Yeah.
There's been also a rise of extremism within that and separatism. The government has shut it down, and then because of that, there's been like a rise of extremism, and like people are doing a lot of terrorist. There's been terrorist attacks there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And then so the Chinese government has really like cracked down on it, and it's basically what they're doing is like they're like, okay, we can't just kill these people and not expect this stuff to happen. So they highly monitor that region really closely. And they just go to they send kids to school to kind of like
tell them not to be terrorists.
In a sense, yeah.
Okay, so what's happened to the vanish? Okay, so this is a population of that place in China. And let's actually just look at where it is on the maps.
And on this point, what I'm just trying to say is that on this point, I don't know, like, it's not a clear black and white issue, you know. And sometimes I feel like the media makes it too much of a clear black and white issue because there is problems with extremism. There was attacks, like terrorist attack, right? So if you're a government of that province, how are you going to react to that?
Yeah.
So that we have to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
It's pretty cool. I don't know where this is. Okay, so it's like northern China.
Yeah, northern China, right?
Okay, so China's hidden camps. China is accused of locking up hundreds of thousands of Muslims without trial in its western region of Xinjiang. The government denies the claim, saying people willingly attend special vocational schools which combat terrorism and religious extremism. Now, a BBC investigation has found important new evidence of the reality. Detention in the desert. So, a satellite swung over the rolling deserts of the oasis, and one of the images captured this. So a massive, so this was in 2015 from a Google Maps image, I'm guessing. I don't know what it's doing right now. It's like frozen, bro. Okay, here. There we go. So that's what it looked like 3 years ago. And then boom, April 2018, they have this huge facility built for apparently these...
Maybe this is a prison.
Who knows? They're saying this is... the first reports that China was operating a system of internment camps for Muslims in Xinjiang. I'm saying that's so bad.
The thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we need to break down media.
Okay, well, let's read it first before let's get through it first, and then we'll talk about what we think about it. The satellite photograph was discovered by researchers looking for evidence of that system on the global mapping software Google Earth. Okay, so it places like just outside a small town. So as we drive up, so these were investigative reporters, and as they drive up, you paying attention, bro?
Yeah.
Come on, get your head in the game,
bro.
As we drive up the wide approach, so they went and they looked for this place in person. So this is the site of that image that they had, and they got stopped by police, and they were told to turn all cameras off, and they weren't allowed to film around that area. And then this is 2018, April 2018. So how many months ago? January, February, March, April. So 8 months. 8 months.
Okay.
And now it's taken October 28th ago. So 6 months later, and they doubled the facility. So the facility is growing. So An October 2018 Sentinel image shows just how much the site has grown compared with what we'd expect. What we'd expect was a big internment camp now looks like an enormous one, and it's just one of many similar large prison-type structures that have been built across Xinjiang in the past few years. Before our attempt to visit the site, we'd stop in the center of Debencheng. It was impossible to speak openly to anyone. Minders lurked menacingly close by and would aggressively debrief anyone who would even exchange a greeting with us. There are tens of thousands of people at the re-education school. They have some problems with their thoughts. That's a resident from Xinjiang. I don't know what just happened there.
Okay. You remember the article?
Yeah. All right. For fuck's sakes. Let's scroll all the way back down. I really like the style of this article. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. Okay, so it's a re-education school. Yes, it's a re-education school. There are tens of thousands of people right now, and they have... okay, so they call it a re-education school. I have deeply understood my mistakes. China has consistently denied that it's locking up Muslims without trial, but a euphemism for the camps has long existed: education. Almost certainly as a response to the mounting international criticism, the authorities have began to double down on this description with a full-on propaganda drive. State-run TV has been showing glossy reports full of clean classrooms and grateful students apparently willingly submitting themselves to the coursework. There is no mention of the grounds on which the students have been chosen for the study or how long the courses last. I've deeply understood my own mistakes. One man tells the camera, bound to be a good citizen after I got home. See, that's strange, man. So there are more than 10 million Uyghurs in Xinjiang. They speak a Turkish language, so they're majority Muslim.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So what is this?
I'm just trying to say, like, let's when I read the article, let's take a lot of things into we need to take things with perception first. Perspective. Yeah, there's two sides of the owl. Okay, there's obviously the style of, yes, this kind of sounds look like more of a prison.
Yeah.
From outside.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know what I mean? So there's that point. And there's also...
But why are they building the prison so fast?
No, but then, yeah, so what I'm trying to explain, what I'm trying to say is that...
But take it into perspective. So this is a BBC report.
Yeah, it's a BBC report, okay, and it's also...
Right now, China is not friends with the United Nations.
They would allow Western countries. That's number one. Number two, there's been a rise of extremism due to poor conditions that the Uyghurs felt, right? Yeah. Because, like you said, they speak Turkish. Not a lot of them spoke Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
So that already is going to be a conflict, because that's going to be a conflict, and that's going to be a hard place for them to get jobs. And the government, I don't think, has done a significant enough time to adapt to their culture, because they're a different ethnic group, right? Mm-hmm. And then this led them to being really, really poor.
Yeah.
And then when there's poverty, there's people that are going to try to take over it, and there's been a rise of extremism and attacks into that province. So when there's a rise, and normally the Uyghurs are not, they're really like laid back, really, and everything like that. So this is new when you're seeing the rise of extremism, and it's been happening across the world.
Yeah.
So how do we react to it? So that's the biggest question. How do we react to it? Because the same thing is that the same way, because like the way I look at it is like, if we just look at the closest place we have here, Guantanamo Bay. Mm-hmm.
It's just so hard. It isn't the
same concept. There's a lot of people that are being detained over there without trial.
Similar concept, definitely. But this is to scale. We got to think about this to scale. Think about I just can't imagine that something like this would be happening somewhere in the world right now. You know what I mean?
It happens a lot.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that when we do these things...
But it doesn't happen in all countries. It doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen in the U.S. It doesn't happen in Korea. It doesn't happen in Europe. It doesn't happen...
I haven't, like, if you look...
history, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about in this current
moment. No. But like, if you look at Evan, there's been so much documentaries about Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
A lot of people, there was even Canadians that were extradited over there. Mm-hmm. They're being held over there without trial.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 years. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And because they're over there, they technically don't fall into they're not. Guantanamo is technically an American facility.
Yeah.
You don't have rights over there.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like, and there's been so much documents leaked on WikiLeaks, a lot of documents leaked about the tortures that was happening over there.
Yeah.
So what I'm just trying to say
Ever seen Harold and Kumar too?
Yeah, Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, that was dope. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah. That was a hilarious movie. But what I'm trying to say is that there is enough sufficient evidence, even by independent studies from people that are doing it in the UN about the living conditions in prisons against Muslims in France, in America. But then those reports are brushed off because what? Oh, it's making us look bad, right?
Yeah.
But we release these projects on China, so I'm trying to say like. We need to be
careful of the perception.
We need to be careful of the perception. And as I said, these things that are happening from all countries need to stop.
Okay,
all them.
That's the thing. There needs to be there needs to be perception understood within. When you're looking at something like this, my grandpa always tells me, he's like, I read German news, I read Russian news, and I read Chinese news, and that's it, because all fucking America is lying to us. You know what I mean? He's super scared of it.
Really?
Yeah, he's deep into it.
Okay.
But
I'm just trying to say people have perceptions on it.
And it shouldn't be discounted, though. It shouldn't be like, okay, just because we're doing it doesn't mean it's not that bad. This shit's fucked up. If this shit's going on, this shit's fucked up. If the shit that's going on, if they have innocent people detained without rights in Guantanamo Bay, that shit's fucked up. Just the same way we had people locked up in internment camps, Native Americans back in the day. That shit's fucked up. That's what this reminds me of. That's what this seems like. You know what I mean? These are residential schools. These are and look how
Canada we're talking about
exactly.
That right now. So it's like,
and look how bad that turned out.
The overrepresentation of Native Americans in our prisons too.
What?
The overrepresentation of Native Americans in our prison.
Exactly. It's a huge issue, but this is what a residential school would look like. This is the beginning of the residential school in Canada, and that's scary, bro. That's scary. I just can't believe people. It's hard. It's hard to think that people can be detained without. Like, imagine if someone just came up here, bro, and just took you away.
That's what Colin Kaepernick takes the knee for. No, for real. I have to say. I have to say that, because you have to understand that people across the world are living. Like, just because it's not just because we're not seeing it in our environment doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah.
And like, for example, this issue, okay, is an overlying issue that I think that we see that is important, that it's good to highlight issues like that. It's not like, don't take an issue and just dismiss it. No, that's bad. Don't take an article and dismiss it. Okay, you see that, right? You see that over there in China. Okay, and you try to understand too, is like, what's also going on here, because when you see in different societies, there's warped version of this in different societies.
We have to try our hardest not to pick teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
No matter how hard they try to entice us to pick teams.
Because once a human right issue, there shouldn't be like, oh, I'm this person's team. I'm just going to. No, it's not about that. It's about human rights. When it's a human rights issue, there's no country team. It's all it's all about human rights. I think, you know what I mean. So that's what, when it comes to situations like this, some situations Canada does it right. Some situations we do it bad. Some situation another country does it right. Some situation they do it good. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's important to dissect a situation. And also, my teacher from back in the university told me, don't always just look at it, just the situation, and think, oh, this situation happened. No, look back at the years prior and look back, why did it lead up to this situation?
We look at the U.S. elections, 2016 U.S. elections, and we talk about Facebook comments and groups that just reflect ideas, and there's no different ideas coming in. And we need to look at that not just on a Democratic and Republican level. We need to look at it on a global level. We need to look at it at a U.S.-China level. Like, what is the U.S. giving us, regardless of Democratic or Republican, that is what is showing China in the worst light, and what is China giving U.S. and showing them in the worst light. You know what I mean? Like, we need to understand that we shouldn't fall into that game, and it's not being unpatriotic.
Yeah, that's the thing. People think already being able to criticize your government is being unpatriotic. No, when you criticize something, I'm criticizing you because I want this I want this to be better. You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like here not really in Canada.
It's such a strange idea though that you can't criticize it. You know what I mean? There's no room for criticism. Like you just said, Colin Kaepernick took a motherfucking knee, and all of his money's gone.
Yeah. For a situation like you say, imagine this stuff happened to her. It happens to people in America. It's a real thing. It's a real problem. It's a real epidemic. But people want to close their eyes to it, and you know what I mean. And that's what I'm always trying to say is like the most important thing. My dad always tells me, it's important to look at the world and try to and see these different things and get educated on it. It's super important. Articles like these are important. But it's like this. You know what? You want to do something? Start at home. He always tells me start in your community because that's how you can relate the most change. Start in your community first. Be active in your community. You know. So these are things that I always tell people. Like, listen, guys, there are things in our communities that we should get active on it. You know, because sometimes when we just the thing is sometimes the media wants to just have a razor focus on China, has a razor focus on Russia, has a razor focus on other countries, right? Saudi Arabia and all these countries, which they have problems too, but we have problems too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we also need to be able to look back and be like, okay, listen, yes, they have problems too, but we also have these problems too. And we're in a position, we're in a democracy, so we're in a better position to actually cause a better change to this problem, to these problems. So how can we do that? So that's why me on these kind of issues, I try not to join like, oh, I'm team this, I'm team this, I'm team this. You know what I mean? I try to just look at the situation and look at the history and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and play devil's advocate a little with yourself.
I think I play mediator.
That's devil's advocate though. Yeah, the mediator is
because the devil's advocate is like you're going already on the opposite side.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't have a middle without two ends.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that
you know what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say by devil's advocate is like when you're saying, "Oh, I'm taking right," I'm taking devil's advocate, so I'm going to be on the left side.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you that there's a right and a left.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say there can be another option in the middle. We can pave a new one in the middle. Obviously, paving a new road would be harder. You know what I mean? But it will be beneficial to both of us. Then it just has to be this or this. That's what I'm scared of. When it's just this or this.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, it's in terms of like politics and like what's going on in the world. You know?
Yeah, China's interesting. We never really know unless we go, and we aren't going to go anytime soon.
Why?
Well, I don't think I'm going anytime soon. Maybe.
I want to go.
Maybe we'll get there.
I want to go. I want to go. I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to see how it is.
I think it would be so interesting walking through the neighborhoods. Okay, so here, let me play the canned news. Let's play the new intro, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
We choose to go to the moon.
This is a momentous day for the United States and for the world.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Because you'd be in jail.
Yeah,
that's my favorite Trump line. For the past 2 years, and he's had so many, bro. He's had so many good lines. Grab him by the pussy.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's one's going down.
That's going to go down in history.
Okay, so
that was crazy.
Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign's been killing it. If you like the rap game, if you follow the music industry, I never really appreciated Ty Dolla $ign that much until I heard him do the intro to Vince Staples' Big Fish Theory.
So he's being indicted because he has coke on him?
Yeah. I doubt he's going to get 15 years. So Ty Dolla $ign has been indicted by a grand jury on charges including felony possession of cocaine. See, felony possession, I don't know what his previous charges are.
But, like, I'm trying to see, what does it mean? Does this mean that he was caught with coke?
Yeah.
Like, trying to sell, like, a large sum amount?
No, he's probably just caught with... possession, that's it. Yeah, it is felony possession.
So, which means, like, he was just taking it.
Yeah, but it depends where it happened. Portland Monday, Atlanta. Took place in Greater Atlanta. Let's go look at Atlanta cocaine charges.
Maybe he's an addict and maybe he needs help.
That would probably be my conclusion too, but maybe he's just partying and having fun. Anyways, it says 15 years.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, is it really a thing to bring somebody in jail because of that?
Yeah.
Because maybe you can find him.
Have you watched Narcos? Have you watched the new Narcos season?
Yeah, Narcos Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
See, that apparently throughout the whole Narcos season, it's pretty much a demonstration of why the war against drugs doesn't work.
It doesn't work. There's a high demand for it. I'm saying people are either have an addiction problem or people like it. So I think that it comes down to, like, you can't just take a person and just throw them in jail. You know what I mean? You should be like, okay, listen, this is what you're gonna do. We're gonna arrest you. We're gonna fine you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you'll be meditated to take these classes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We can talk.
Especially 15 years for like a non-violent crime.
Right. This is what I mean.
I've known so many nice people who have had coke on them before. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of good people that shouldn't be in jail that I've known have had coke on them before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And there's no way they should be spending 15 years. Ty Dolla $ign should be facing nowhere near.
And then basically what you're asking is that does the court system and does your government have their best interest at heart?
He was hit with a felony possession of THC as well.
Isn't
weed? Ridiculous. Like crazy, bro.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I was trying to know if this was Jim Harbord from Northern Iowa. Would he get the same felony charge?
No, I doubt it.
I doubt it.
No.
You know what I mean? So that's why he
wouldn't have even been pulled over, bro. He would have waved at the cop.
This is what I call the predatorial system. The predatorial system that is in place. And that's what Colin Kaepernick means. Like, it doesn't take a rocket science to know. Okay, listen. It's not a non-violent crime.
Yeah.
If he's caught with this, listen, what we can do, we charge him, we make him take mandatory classes for that. We go see if he has help, and he has the money for it, so he can pay himself. Mm-hmm. We make him do community service hours, and we say, listen, Ty, if you're going to go again, we're going to charge you a bigger amount, right? That's it.
Why does it sound like you have the answers?
No,
but like
it's common sense.
Yeah, I know, but why is that? It's so weird thinking about that. It's just me and you. We're just a couple of idiots. We're looking at a TV screen right now. There's a camera, and we're just talking. And you pretty much just gave a very logical answer to a unbelievable, huge issue that is costing billions and billions of dollars. That no one has seemed to come up with the answer you just came up with.
They know what's going on, Evan. They want to continue going because it's
money.
It's a predatory. I told you it's a predatorial system.
Yeah.
That preys on the weak. Like, you remember Meek Mill was talking about it. Meek Mill was like saying, "Listen, when I was addicted to like perks and everything, I was taking a lot. I was in a crime. I was addicted. I needed help, and then." Thank God for the person that one of his probation officer got him help. Mm-hmm. He just needed help. Mm-hmm. That's all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now he's free. He's free from it. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say. Is like sometimes it's like the justice system is not here. It's not always about punishment.
Well, it definitely is.
It's not always a system that just cares about just punishing people.
Everybody's done a little coke.
Like you like exactly, and he's like a celebrity. He's living a high life. You also have to pay attention to.
He didn't have guns on him. He didn't have knives. He wasn't threatening anybody over Twitter, bro. Is
he threatened to the society? No.
Oh fuck.
That's all you have to. These are things that we need to ask. Is he a threat to society? No. Okay, he's not a threat to society. Why does he need jail?
Well, let's hope that he doesn't get any jail.
Because his skin is a little darker, and it'll be easier to get rid of it. Hey, just be honest about be honest about it. You know what I mean? It's 2018 now. We're not idiots now. You know, so whatever. These are just kind of things that just.
I'm gonna make a presentation.
Get me riled up.
I'm gonna get a presentation for all the rap hip hop artists we've lost ever, due to either incarceration or death, and want to see how many there are, and where they got lost, and why it happened.
Yeah, you know. But I really respect YG. YG, they asked him a question about 6ix9ine. He was just like, listen, I know we didn't have the pace, but I wouldn't. He's like, I wouldn't wish anything on anybody like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, that's respect. You know what I mean? Because he was talking a lot of shit. And I hope 6ix9ine somewhere in jail and hears that and be like, okay, yo, no, for real. Because you know what I mean? He could use that time to bash him like crazy. Yeah. But he was just like, yo, no, it's not. No, it's not one of those. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. You know? But at the end, he has a family, has a daughter. I hope her daughter's able to see her son. You know what I mean?
Tekashi?
So, yeah. And so this was going on. But that's an interesting story.
He gets those fucking tattoos removed off his face.
The U.S. situation is getting more and more. Did you see what's going on?
China?
Did you see what's going on right now? China just
the can opener, China special number 2.
So yeah, just before. What's going on right now?
Yeah, so let's hear what's the scoop. So
I have an article right there.
Oh, that podcast I said we lost the other day, we didn't lose it. Remember the one about the dreams?
Oh, where?
The John Cena one. Yeah, I was excited when I found it.
The John Cena one.
Yeah, anyways,
we're talking about WWE and stuff. Yeah, I love those podcasts.
What were you saying?
No, basically there was an American company called Qualcomm Incorporated, right? Which basically they kind of lost a lot of grounds in American and Western societies, right? So they move a lot of their operations in China.
What do they do? What are their operations?
It's an American semiconductor of telecommunication equipment.
Okay, so it's a telecommunication.
Yeah, so a competitor, right?
Yeah,
so
a competitor of Huawei?
Of China, no, iPhone and everything like that.
Okay,
so
is it an American company or a Chinese company?
It's an American company. So they lost a lot of their business in America, right? Yeah, because Apple and all stuff are taking over, right? So they move a lot of their operation in China, which is the second biggest economy. So they were kind of doing good, but they've seen that Apple's coming in and Apple's killing it too over there. So what do they do? So they're saying that Apple stole what's it called, patents from them. So they made a court case in China. So and guess recently, and just the timing of it is very interesting that a court in China has ruled in favor of Qualcomm. So essentially banning iPhones.
Really?
And this is big because China is a enormous market for iPhones for Apple.
Yeah.
So Apple's like, what? They're stressing, right? So then this is coming at the heels of the Huawei situation.
Did this just come?
Yeah, Google it. You'll see it.
What is it?
It's just like so you'll see it.
China bans most iPhone sales after granting Qualcomm an injunction against Apple. Injunction. Okay, so an injunction. You know what an injunction is?
It's a temporary.
It's a temporary non-monetary remedy within the court system that halts all business of the plaintiffs. And business operations.
Basically, what the word that China is sending to Westerners is like, we're the second biggest economy.
Yeah, like
we can make a million of your competitors billionaires in our economy. Release that lady. This is all happening for one person.
And look at how easily. Look, you look at America, and they have to go through these checks and balances. Look at China. Look how easily they can just pull a string and be like, yo, iPhones are not coming in anymore.
No, but be fair, that was in the court process in China.
It was already happening?
It was happening before that.
Yeah. But so people just the stars aligned.
The stars, well, we never know with these politics stuff, right?
Here, let's watch the video.
Fears that a trade war is on the horizon, President Trump only adding to the turmoil. Trump, who regularly takes credit for the soaring stock market, now silent as markets fall in the wake of a handshake deal with China that days later remains short on concrete details. After hailing the agreement as an incredible deal,
it's an incredible deal. It goes down certainly.
Incredible.
If it happens, it goes down as one of the largest deals ever made.
President
I love
Trump
what he does
now
with the
changing
fucking
his
hand,
tune on
dude.
China, voicing concern that it might not materialize, tweeting, "We are either going to have a real deal with China or no deal at all, at which point we will be charging," as President Xi Jinping
Does it have anything to do
His
with
commitment to President Trump.
Did you
the
see
dinner
what
table in Buenos Aires with China's president on Saturday.
Did you see
While
the-
details about the
about the
charges
trade
she
war.
might face
John Bolton was kind of saying, "Oh, we didn't know about the situation. Justin Trudeau knew about this the whole time, and he's acting." So they're shifting the blame to Canada now. Isn't that interesting?
So, a global battle between tech giants. Apple and Qualcomm are suing one another in courts across the world. Billions of dollars are at stake, and each side has claimed some victories. 2017, Apple sued Qualcomm for $1 billion after the chipmaker stopped paying for the exclusive right to put its chips in iPhones. Qualcomm withheld its payments after the European Union began investigating them. The EU ultimately deemed the payments illegal. In January 2018, the Europe Commission ordered Qualcomm to pay $1.2 billion fine over the issue. So they're suing one another, several patent. So what? Qualcomm makes the chips for Apple?
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, we're actually going to sell these chips to everyone and not just you. And iPhone was like, no, you can't do that.
And they're also working on like technological plans and everything. But but they're like kind of competitors, but working together, kind of in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then in telecommunication markets, they're big tech giants, right?
So Qualcomm has asked a U.S. federal judge to ban the sale of iPhones in one case. In June, a judge in the International Trade Commission found that Apple had violated one of Qualcomm's patents related to battery-saving technology. So Apple stole Qualcomm's patents.
This is what they're saying.
Okay, so ooh.
So then it's funny how they did that all over the world, and they didn't get it until China, which China is like Apple's one of the biggest markets for Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So already now this is big. This is getting big. The trade war is getting big. It's all happening over one person. So this is all you have to start thinking about. This is all happening over one person.
And
so
what one person is that?
The
Meng Wanzhou.
Yeah, her name there, the CFO of
the CFO.
So now you have to ask yourself: Is it worth it? We'll see. We'll see in 10 years.
It's just so crazy. It's so crazy our position in it, and it is all just coming. Everything is just coming to this climax. It seems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're just going up the hill, and everything's coming to this ultimate point. At one point where the trade war is going to be so devastating to the stock market that something's going to happen. There's going to be a recession or depression or ultimately a trade war, and then an actual war if economic suffering gets too far, and then who knows what type of leaders will elect after that.
It's literally about being. This is not a time for attacks. This is a time of diplomacy and negotiation. There's time for war, there's time for peace, and there's time for negotiation. Clearly, this is a time for negotiation. This is not a time to do this. Even though the Iran situation, if you have a problem with the deal, okay, but you can negotiate a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not time to just you're at. It's not about that, because Iran could be a good market for companies to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
Really, a lot of companies want to go in there because it could be a good market for them. It's time to set. If you're afraid of China and everything like that, how about you put policies in place to put your population at a better stake? Having Canadian companies invest, say in Iran into their stuff like that, creating more jobs for Canadians to go over there, build a lot more things. Because for a big thing, when I was looking at Iranians, what they really like is they really like brand name perfumes. They like brand name stuff, right? Mm-hmm. We can do that. We can sell that to over there. We can flip the market. So I'm just trying to say, it's like,
but we can't with the current U.S. perception of it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, what time is it now? It's like it's not a time for this. It's a time for negotiation.
But there's so many players that it's so hard to unravel. Was it unconscionable that the Chinese went around, if Huawei went around U.S. tariffs in Iran through shell companies and knowingly did fraud and knowingly misled the U.S. instead of just saying, hey, we need to do this because we want to do this.
Apparently, they sold Skycom in 2009, so it wasn't at their hands. They're saying that if Skycom did that, but it wasn't out of our hands because we sold it already. So that's also a big part of our argument too. That the Skycom company is not.
But
in
it
Chinese
got funneled through Huawei. So that's the thing.
Yeah, but yeah. So me, I'm not debating this thing. But what I'm just trying to say is let's think about it as clear and objective people.
Yeah.
We're gonna arrest somebody for trying to do business with Iran.
So she's held. And so she's putting up a $12 million home, and she's saying she has health troubles so she can get bail and go home. So Meng suffers from hypertension and struggles to eat solid food. She has a sleep disorder. She's willing to put up a couple multi-million-dollar homes as collateral for bail. So her bail hearing resumes Monday in the Canadian city after Friday's proceedings yielded no result.
I just feel like in this time, this kind of situation, I don't know what I don't understand what our leaders are what they really want. You know what I mean? It's not. We're not going to do this whole thing over one person, guys. Listen, let's think objectively about it. We're arresting somebody for doing business in a country called Iran. Okay, no, time out. No, think about this. Iran, okay? Europeans want to do business in Iran. They stay all the time. They want to do business in Iran. We're just making it. We're seeing it as a negative issue because Donald Trump and the administration are seeing it as a negative issue. President Obama's administration and the administration before George Bush were working on the Iran deal.
Yeah.
They were working to try to get the Iran deal going. So what I'm just trying to say is that we are putting this whole negative connotation of her trying to do business with Iran because the Trump administration thinks doing business with Iran is against the law. But a lot of people...
Maybe that was Trump's thought. Maybe he can get rid of the Iran deal, and this way he can legally prosecute one of a Chinese executive from that company to get at them as a power play.
Leverage. Yeah, people
as
are
a power
yeah,
piece.
he wants to get leverage off China. That's for sure. He wants to get leverage of China. And the thing is we if you're our allies, you have to think about, is this the right move to do it? Is this the right thing to get leverage on them?
And now Canada finds himself giving bail or not giving bail. And now they're on the teeter-totter of who comes closer. Of China's coming closer, U.S. is coming closer. And Canada's on the third side. It's a 3 balance.
Give her bail. You know how much Canadian companies and everything like this are doing business over there?
Give her bail, take $30 million. I want $30 million given to Canada.
Charge her. If the court wants to charge her $30 million, do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what not to charge her.
Yeah.
She literally has bank. Charge her $30 million, let her go. Boom, we said we didn't find anything. We didn't think it was a good move to extradite her. This is the reason why. Blah, blah, blah. Let it go. Let tensions appease.
It's not about finding anything either. It's about we wanted to do this due diligence and we want to place the trust within the Chinese government.
Yeah.
And this is how diplomacy works, and this is how negotiation
works. It doesn't go just everything that's good on my end.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what Trump thinks. Trump, because the problem, he has a predatory business mind.
That'll be a big issue. That'll be an issue if she doesn't come back. If we let her out on bail and she doesn't come back, what's going to happen then?
What's going to happen then? What's going to happen with our relationship with America?
With China.
With China?
With what's going to happen between the American relationship and the Chinese relationship.
So you would say we would give her back on bail, and we're going to explain this thing. It will still be hard, but it can be fixable.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be on a Canadian's lap.
This was shocking. The CIS's director and the ex-foreign minister John O'Malley agreed on it. They have two options, but they agreed that the best thing to do is just to give her bail, allow her to allow the escalation of things.
Yeah.
That everybody is agreeing with that.
Yeah. This is an interesting story though. It's really it just seems like this is a pinnacle. This is a major domino falling in this story of.
And the more that we keep her in jail, the longer it's gonna anger, and the anger is gonna start boiling over. So we need to have a quicker decision on this issue, because the decision was supposed to already be done by today, but it wasn't. It's not clear done.
They said they're pushing it back tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they let her go. We stop this shit. You know what I mean? We appease tensions right now. It's not the time for these kind of moves, man.
No.
It's really not, because you already see what's going to happen, and then they're already saying what's going to happen to Canadian companies over there. Think about the Canadians that are overseas working over there.
Well, that's the thing. What are they going to use as retaliation for us understanding the weight of that person that person holds in their country?
Yeah, and they're gonna trust me. They're gonna want to retaliate.
Over the weekend, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said it had summoned both U.S. Ambassador to China, Terry Branstad, and Canadian Ambassador to China, John McCallum, to address Meng's detention, which it described as lawless, reasonless, and ruthless. Well, we'll give an update. We're doing podcast after podcast after podcast.
Yep.
Podcast tomorrow, Inside Source, bro? Yes. And I'm putting that on the... Oh, my God. Did you hear that?
Listen, let me crunch this exam. I'm still. Let me crunch this exam.
Yeah, I believe in you. You have faith, bro. You're right. You're gonna pass, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's about passing, but I want to crunch it.
Well, there you go.
I want to crunch it, and after that, feel good about.
Yeah. I feel you. You want to just call it quits then?
Yeah. I'll leave it in
leave in the hood.
Yeah, leave in the hood
where it's good. All right.
Thanks.
Peace out.